Hi, so I have an App Engine application. Let's open it. This App Engine application uses a Cloud SQL database to store data. And as you see, it's a simple app that renders a web page and allows me to vote for tab or spaces. If I click one of those, you see that the vote is counted. And if I refresh, of course, because it's persisted in the database, then the counts are still here. This is a Node.js App Engine application, and now my goal is to migrate it to Cloud Run. Let's take a look at the code. The app has a config file named app.yaml, which includes a few configuration like my database connection and everything, my instance class, and a few auto-scaling parameters. Those connection settings are used inside the code here, and they are passed as environment variables. The page is rendered using a templating mechanism. In that case, it's Pug. This is a very traditional Node.js web application website. So now my goal is to migrate this app to Cloud Run. I want to migrate my configuration with it. So to do that, we've open sourced a tool here, which is App Engine to Cloud Run. So it's just a simple web page that allows me to, on the left, give my App Engine configuration, and on the right, get the instructions to migrate to Cloud Run. So let's start with copy pasting our app YAML into this tool. And so I'm going to paste my app YAML. And as you see on the right, immediately the Cloud Run configuration is given to me. As you might know, Cloud Run implements the Knative Serving API. So that's why this YAML file is actually a Knative service resource. I can provide some more information, like what's my GCP product ID. And when I provide that, my Cloud Run config will be richer. What's my App Engine region? So I can know that by going into the App Engine dashboard. It's over here. It's US Central. What this tool will do is that it will recognize US Central is actually not a valid region code, and the valid region code is US Central 1, which is what is given here. And lastly, I use Cloud SQL, so I just have to provide my database name, which I could go to Cloud SQL and show it to you. Cloud SQL, and the instance ID is named my-database. So this is what it's also in the connection name right here. So by providing my instance name, here is, you can see that the Cloud Run configuration now includes the Cloud SQL connection itself. So the tool tells me create a file named service.yaml with the following content. So let's do that. Let me paste that into a new file. And paste my Cloud Run config. So as you see, the config looks a little bit different from the App Engine config, but overall everything is here. One notable thing to notice is that App Engine uses the notion of instance class, but Cloud Run reuses the standard Kubernetes resource limits. And so the tool was able to convert from an F2 instance to 512 megabytes and 1 vCPU. As you see, if in my tool I had picked a bigger instance like F4, then it would have given me 1 gigabyte and 2 vCPUs, and then F1 would have been 256 megs. So you see how the tool is very easy. The tool captures my maximum number of instances. So maybe I wanted 20, and here you see that it appears here. So really, it's a helper tool to easily convert one kind of config file into another one. So now let's deploy to Cloud Run. So what the tool gives me is a command line to deploy to Cloud Run. On App Engine, it's one command, gcloud app deploy. But as you might know, Cloud Run doesn't yet do source deployments. So what this command does is actually it submits a build using GCP build pack. So as you notice, there is no Docker file in my source code. There's nothing that says, here is how to build the source code, because actually the way we build a Node.js application is something we've open sourced as Google Cloud Build Packs. So by using this --pack command, that's what I tell Cloud Build. I tell it, go use the Google Cloud official build packs to build that source code. And the last part of the command is to gcloud run services replace service.yaml. And what that does is that it deploys to Cloud Run from a configuration file. And in that case, from the service.yaml that we have. So let's run that command. So similarly to when I deploy to App Engine, the first thing that will happen is that my source will be built into a container. When you deploy to App Engine, that's a little bit hidden. That's hidden behind the pending indicator. But in that case, because we directly use Cloud Build, we can see the actual output of the build. So that's what's happening right now. Note how I did not have to specify that I wanted to use Node.js. Like the GCP build packs are able to detect that this is Node.js. You see it's using the Node.js runtime. And now it's building my Node.js app into a container. This is exactly the same recipe that App Engine uses to build your applications. It's literally the same that we use internally, and we've open sourced it in order to be able to use it anywhere. So now the build will soon be completed. And yeah, the image has been built, and now it is being pushed to Google Container Registry. And now it is being deployed to Cloud Run. And done. I still have to do one more thing before I can open this app that I deployed to Cloud Run, because one difference between Cloud Run and App Engine is that Cloud Run deployments are private by default. Like my default service that I can now see in the Cloud Run user interface, as you see here, doesn't allow me to be invoked on the internet. I will need to authenticate when I want to invoke it. But I can change that. This is one click. So to make a Cloud Run service public, I'll give all users the IAM role of invoker, of invoke. All users can invoke my service. And when I do that, I make it public. And now, if I refresh, let's do it again. I allow public access. Okay, and now if I click my Cloud Run service, as you see, it's serving the same app, except that this time it's on Cloud Run, so run.app is the domain. I can vote. Again, the data is the same because it's using the same Cloud SQL instance. I can vote for tabs. In that case, yeah, it has been taken into account. But the app has been migrated. As you see, I did not have to change any code from my application when I'm using App Engine Flexible or second generation. I was just able to copy paste my config into this online tool and get the Cloud Run config in return. And then I also was able to deploy in one command to Cloud Run using that longer command, which does a build and a deployment.